Having begun my journey as a complete novice, I rode my motorcycle across North America, Ireland, and the UK. From Europe, it'll be an adventure down to Cape Town. We'll head back up to the Middle East, and from there it'll be Asia and down to Australia. New Zealand's southernmost drivable point will mark the end of my trip. I'm calling it the Big Spiral. This is Act 5, a journey through Europe, and this is the next day of my adventure.
All right, good morning from Malaga, Spain. Oh, we're really south now. And today we are going to my friend Jay's place. He is, well, he's been accepting a lot of shipments on my behalf for the last little while. Lots of new parts for the bike, lots of new parts for me. And yeah, the bike, well, we all know that I have had a persistent oil leak ever since, like, I don't know, like Carlisle, United Kingdom, even before then. So I've ordered some new parts to try to repair that. I've ordered some new performance part that's going to make the bike work even better. Quite excited for that, actually. It's probably going to be something like, oh, I should have done this a long time ago. So, but he's actually quite close by, about 20 minutes away, and we'll head over there and we'll start taking the bike apart and making some changes. Perfect, the fuel light's on, because I have to take the tanks off later, and I don't really want extra gas in there, so. Oh, it's dirt. Jay lives on a dirt road. What a smart man. I think he's got some dual sport bikes, adventure bikes, so he knows what he's doing. I think it's this place here. Yeah. There he is. This way, okay. How are you?
Not bad. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
Yeah, wow. It must be, like I say, it must be so strange for you. We all feel like we know you.
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't know.
You've obviously made it here perfectly okay.
Yeah.
You want to get yourself set up straight away in the container? Or?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Like a pro.
Well, check out how well stocked this shop is. It's amazing. Oh, this is going to be a perfect place to work on the bike. I think Jay's going to come help in a second. But first, I'm going to start with taking off the skid plate because, well, that's pretty much the first thing you do every time you work on the bike. All right, so we got Jay here. This is
Salute.
his beautiful garage, shed, container. Man cave, yeah, with all the tools. Yeah, he was kind enough to email me and say
Happy to support the channel.
yeah. So yeah, and he's gonna help out a bit. So I think the first thing we're gonna do
Badly.
no, you're gonna do a great job.
This is where Eric's journey stops.
I have that fuel leak. So if you remember a few videos ago, I filmed this like actually pretty substantial leak. The leak went away once the bike warmed up, but the reason I haven't looked at it yet is because I have to take the tanks off to have a look to see what's going on. So yeah, we're going to start with taking the tanks off, and then we'll be able to access, I think it's probably a connection between the fuel hose and the injector, probably something like that, if I had to guess. So, but we'll see.
There you go, Doctor.
Thank you. Let's see if it can come off. Oh, it's still looking good.
Oh, very nice indeed.
Yes.
Turns out you're a professional welder as well.
No, I didn't weld it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He hasn't seen some of the videos yet.
Yes, I'm a little bit behind.
Do you have metric Allen keys?
Oh, yep, absolutely.
Shall we disconnect the fuel line?
See how vital I am to the big spiral? Chief fuel line holder. Do it like a pro.
Take this tank off. Because we had a leak in the morning, I think this looks like it's not all the way on, this fuel connection. So this is the fuel line that goes to the tank, and then this is basically going to the injector, which is in here. And if you look, there's like a whole bunch of bare connection. So maybe we just try to push that on a little
Nip it up a
further?
little bit and see whether that sorts the problem. Oh, I see exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
It's really quite, I mean, there's a whole like centimetre there, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's only a good point to start, isn't it, I think? We could put a bit of Vaseline. Let's
Oh, it just clicked a lot nicer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it just clicked a lot nicer. Maybe that was it.
Okay, well,
Okay,
fingers
well,
crossed.
we'll leave that for now. In the morning, maybe run the bike and then see if it leaks. Because it only happened when it was cold.
All right.
So, okay.
Okay, well, that's a good plan, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've ordered a whole bunch of stuff, which Jay has kindly received. So this is my stuff. This is my stuff too. I've ordered a lot. So maybe we should just do a little unboxing. Super glue.
Vital.
Emergency bivvy. Oh. Kawasaki oil filters.
Very nice.
A smart remote. So I want to be able to control the music on my phone from the handlebars without taking my phone out.
Okay.
Stick. JB Weld steel stick. So apparently this is good for repairing radiators. This is a drain plug with a magnet on the end.
Ah, right, okay, for catching all the swarf and whatnot.
Oh, I ordered a belt. The weight fluctuates.
No, I'll have to take your word for it, mate, because mine only fluctuates upwards.
Chain brake. My
First aid kit.
first aid kit. Tiny, which is maybe somewhat concerning, but
We'll just try to have a tiny injury at it.
thread lock. German version, probably better if it's German.
Quite entirely possible.
Yeah. Oh, this is a cool one. And this is actually a fuel bladder. So, oh yeah. Barnett clutch plates.
There you go.
I'm gonna need these. I ordered some gloves. I hope they fit. Uh-oh.
If they don't fit, you must have quit.
I'm not a murderer. Oh, sweet! New spring for the bike. There's still more.
Oh yeah, get comfortable.
Okay, so these were a pain in the butt to get. They wouldn't ship this to Europe, so I had to ship it to my dad, who then shipped it to me. Some stiffer springs. Okay, so this is a whole box of parts from Japan. Throttle cables, ignition coil, fork seals, extra brake pads, an extra set of sprockets, chain guard.
Chain guard.
Yeah. I hope I didn't pinch the tube. All right, quick tire change done.
Very quick, rapid, yep. Like a 4-year-old could do.
Yeah, exactly. Jay suggested we work on the shock. Basically, this is my shock here, and I want to replace the spring with a new one.
No, that's coming easy. Oh, it's tight. It's tight, but I think...
Let's give a little shim. Shim. Come on, baby. Come to me.
There we go.
Look at that.
Hey!
Oh, it wasn't so bad to take out.
No,
actually.
so much easier. So much easier.
Hopefully it'll spin off, yeah. So for those watching, this is basically a lock ring, and this ring is the one that's actually holding the spring in place. This one just butts up against this one and keeps it from backing out. We've wound it off the fairway, and now it's under less load. Cool.
There she goes.
Perfect.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, we turn it the other way up. That collar comes out.
Yep. There you go.
One dead spring.
So you can see this one has quite a few more coils in it, and then the diameter of the spring, like this diameter here, is a lot thicker than this one here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is almost double the spring rate. I'm not sure.
It's probably at least double the weight. It's a big difference.
All right, so we cleaned up a little bit, but as long as the moving parts are clean, then I'm happy. So basically, it just goes like this, and then we reverse the process from before. And I guess I should say the point of this is basically when I'm running all the luggage on the bike, all that extra weight is really pulling the back of the bike down. So the idea is to kind of balance the bike a little more, and then also make it a little bit hold its own weight a little more, and that'll make it hopefully ride better, allow me to ride a bit more aggressively. because right now it's kind of squats back because the spring is too soft. And I got some springs for the front too, so we're gonna do that as well. All right, so brand new spring installed. Let's do the springs up here, which is a different process. So yeah, I'm honestly quite excited to upgrade the suspension on this. As a mountain biker, former mountain biker, the suspension is so important. I would say probably even more important than power. A lot of people focus on power, but I really prefer to have good suspension. So I'm curious to see how this all goes. So the first thing I believe we need to do is take these caps off, and to do that we'll have to remove the handlebars. So we'll just unbolt the bars here. Okay, the bars are off. Okay, so that's quite loose now. I feel like it's already, oh there it goes. Well, there's my spring. All right, just dropped in there.
Yeah.
And there's that's the cap. Okay.
There she was.
Stock spring. Okay, so new spring going in. Okay, where's my new tool? Okay, now I got the top here. Oh, it's fitting okay now.
Nicely done.
Okay, so the next step is to thread this thing on, presumably. And then okay, one side is done. Jay has a concerned look on his face right now.
Not at all. It's the only look I got, brother.
It's gonna feel like a whole new machine after this, I think.
Nice. No, you made this one look like a breeze, buddy.
I've experienced. That should be tight enough. All right, so this is actually a spare coil that I've brought along with me. And this is the stock one right here. So basically, if that one goes, then I'll have this one as a backup. And really, I think I just want to leave it in here. So I think we're just going to zip tie it in here. And that way, if a coil goes bad, it'll be right there waiting for me after I take the tanks off and I cry a little bit. So we didn't explain what a coil is. A coil basically creates enough electricity. It basically isn't it like a kind of a capacitor. It just stores energy for the spark because the spark needs quite a bit of electricity to create that you know, the explosion in the cylinder. So the coil is basically what creates the energy for the spark plug. Is that right?
Basically, I think, isn't it? Well, it comes to, the power comes from your stator, and then the coil accelerates that to a higher voltage. Is what I think.
Yeah,
is what occurs basically.
It kind of stores it. Is that right? No, I don't know.
Absolutely. Well, I believe it's where the magic pixies live that then create the electric spark.
Oh, cool. Sounds good. I like magic pixies. Okay, so we'll leave that kind of hiding in there.
We're such experts, Eric, you and I.
I just know I need one, and I'd like to have a spare.
Yeah, I think the expression for this in the UK is all the gear, no idea.
It's true, but it also implies that they got all the gear, but they're not doing anything with it. Okay, I think I may have just installed my favorite feature on this bike, and I think it only costs like €4 or €5, $6, $7. And it's this. Basically, I can control the music on my phone and the volume with that thing. And actually, you would have thought a product like this would be commonplace, but actually I couldn't find really any that are waterproof and will fit on a motorcycle. But I found that one on AliExpress, and yeah, because I'm always like trying to reach into my pocket to control my phone or whatever, but it's just, I feel like that is the solution. It's perfect. I can't wait. But yeah, I think we'll end the work for today. So we'll see you tomorrow morning, and we'll finish off work on the bike. All right, so we're back. It's the next day. And, well, we haven't really solved the fuel problem yet. Yesterday, I just kind of reconnected it and figured, well, maybe it's better now. I felt it kind of click into place, so it may have just been not installed properly by me. So we're just going to hook up the fuel tank, and then we're going to see if it still leaks. And then if it still leaks, then we'll go from there. But, yeah.
Let's see.
Hopefully no fires.
Indeed. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Something along these lines, was it?
A little more rearward.
Okay, I see.
Yep. Should we put all in?
Yeah, why not?
All right, so hopefully there's enough fuel in the tank now to start the bike. Watch this red thing, see if any gas comes out of there.
Right.
All right, I think
like easy fixes.
yeah, I think we solved it. I just made 2 changes. I just reconnected this connector, and maybe it went a little deeper, and then I also nipped up.
Oh, it's a good word.
Is that the correct term?
Absolutely.
I nipped up the hose clamp, but you call it something else. What's a hose clamp?
Oh, Jubilee clip, but I think it was the original manufacturer was a company called Jubilee, so it's just.
Okay.
But I think hose clip is actually the right term for it.
Okay. All right. So we've got the whole front of the bike back together. I think the next thing that maybe I've been really curious about solving, and maybe you too, is the oil leak problem. And if you might remember, back in the Netherlands, I thought I solved it by replacing the seal at the counter shaft, or the output shaft, or the main shaft, or whatever. And then the next day it leaked, and I was quite disappointed. So what's that saying? Doing the same thing over and over again.
The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result, or words to that.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not doing the same thing again. We're doing something a little bit different, and hopefully we solve the problem.
Interesting.
All right. So first, we gotta take the stuff apart, and then we gotta rip that seal out. Okay. So now we have to break loose this big one. Oh. All right, so right now the wheel's turning while we're trying to break this sprocket loose. So we're gonna go back to Old Faithful ratchet strap. Also useful for pulling KTMs out of creeks. Okay. Go. All right, so it's quite dirty. So it's definitely still continued to leak. This is the seal here on the top, and then this piece is called I think it's called a sleeve. So we're gonna replace both the seal and the sleeve. But there's actually a little bit more to the story, but let's first take these 2 pieces out. Okay, so we just drill in here. So really gently, actually, I learned from last time. Oh, it just went in.
Hey.
There we go. Oh, now it's leaking. There's definitely oil in there. All right. So we've done this once before. Okay, so last time I ordered this in Europe, and this bike only existed until 2019 in Europe. I looked up the part number for my bike 2024, and the part number actually changed. So I think it's possible that this could be at fault. So I've ordered the exact one for my bike. And then we'll get the sleeve out. Maybe we'll need vice grips for that. Okay.
Hey.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, so basically what happens is basically you get oil, it starts to leak, and then you might start to get dirt in there, and then the dirt starts to act like a grinding paste, and eventually you start to get a groove going around this piece. And then once you get a groove, the tolerance, you start to get a gap between the seal and this sleeve. Yeah, the idea is to replace this, and hopefully that solves the problem. So you can see there's another seal on the inside here, and it's like slightly damaged here. The concern is that we may have damaged it when we originally placed the seal, because you basically drill into the outer seal, and then you put a screw in, and then potentially you could hit the seal behind it, and we may have done that. So my concern is that, well, maybe the seal behind it is leaking as well. The problem with that seal is that it's in the engine, and to replace that seal, you have to take the engine out and open up the engine, which is like a big deal, and something I'm not willing to do. I might put some like sealant in there, RTV sealant. Hopefully one of these things solves the problem. But to be honest, right now I'm not super optimistic about this situation. So yeah, just trying to clean this out as well as possible. And the reason I have the bike on the side is I just want the oil to be on the other side of the bike, so it's there's no chance of it coming out of the seal. So this sealant, I'm going to use sticks. And the light's better now. You can kind of see the damage to the seal here. It's not a lot, but I think when we originally pulled out the first seal, we screwed into this probably, and that's what caused damage. So I'm just going to use a little sealant. It's a bit of a bodge. Is that what they're saying?
Bodge is the correct word? Yes, absolutely.
Or a hack or bodge?
Yeah, well, I would say bodge.
Bodge, okay.
Or you could even say it's a bit Heath Robinson.
It's a bit Heath Robinson. Maybe I'll just use it sparingly, because there's only a couple of spots where there's damage. All right, well, that sealant sits in the sun. I kind of wanted to show you this. So this is the new collar or sleeve, and this is the old one. And you can actually see, like, I don't think it's too bad, but yeah, there's definitely pitting and stuff in the old one, and kind of a groove going around it. So potentially, yeah, it could be oil getting through there. All right, just gotta take this old O-ring out. Just put a new one on. So when in doubt, grease. And then the seal with the exact part number for my year. It always makes you wonder a little bit when they change the part number, like what did they do? Because there's always like a slight change when they do that, right? But I'm just gonna grease it up because, man, I've had enough, you know? It actually goes in by hand. I think it's in there. What do you think, Jay?
I think that looks pretty good. From what I can see from where I am, without looking up close and personal, that certainly looks like it's snug. You know you fitted it the right way, you've double checked.
What's your bet? Is the leak gonna stop?
I've got every confidence in you, I think so.
Okay.
You know, I'm at least 51.49 on it, you know?
I love the confidence.
I think it's gonna be fine, pal.
Okay, so yeah, we've got everything back together, chains back on with the sprocket and all that. We're gonna do a quick little oil change here. Look at those. All right, so this oil is kind of a funny story. 20W fork fluid. So I went into a shop, I'm like, I need some oil. And he's like, well, I don't have any bottles of oil, but he had a big drum of it. And so he went and found some like old fork fluid containers and pumped a whole bunch in there, which I'm sure this reseller is not happy with.
Nah, I can imagine.
But yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I'll take it. And so it's not used oil or anything, but it just looks a little suspect. Would you buy oil like that?
Well, face to face, yeah, I guess so.
Face to face. Exactly. There's a bit of a language barrier.
Right.
But he started doing stuff, and at that point, I just felt bad to stop him, you know? So I'm like, okay, well, I guess we're doing this, so yeah. It's definitely 10W40 Jasso MA2. I double checked. I took a picture of the top of the drum, so.
And
yeah,
you know, he said definitely not out of his fish fryer.
Does it smell like fish and chips? If he blows my engine, he's definitely getting 1 star. I forgot to put the oil plug in. Maybe some simp came out actually.
They're now black trousers, problem solved.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I sprayed a bit of oil on your... Sorry about that.
That's terrible. It was worth it for the comedy value. And you've got something now for the blooper reel as well.
Yeah, I might have to do some laundry. Well, I hope we made a whole bunch of improvements to the bike. Yeah, I didn't mention it, but this is a Dunlop 606. So basically the same tire as the back, but the front version. We did an oil change. We've done the seal on the other side. I don't know if I mentioned this yet. I'm going to try out this kind of cruise control thing. We'll see how that goes. But we're not done yet. We still actually I got some new luggage for the bike. But yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow right now. All right. Good morning from the container. So today we've got one last mod to do, and I was kind of leaving this one for last because, well, it's on the outside of the bike. It makes sense to put it on last. So I've got some new bags. I bought some new bags. So why did I get new bags? Maybe that's the most interesting question. Basically, the last bags I had were not waterproof. So essentially, you know, even if I left the bags on the bike outside under like a rain cover, water still got in. And actually I had a sleeping bag in there and I didn't realize it was sitting in water at the bottom of the bag, and it got moldy and I had to throw it away. And so I just, you know, I need a set of bags that are actually waterproof. And yeah, so I found these bags online. They're quite cheap, but they reviewed well. And yeah, the whole bag is like, I think it's seam sealed, and they're waterproof. Now the thing with bags is like, they're all different. You kind of have to figure out how they should fit in your bike and the best way they fit in your bike. And you also have to think about the exhaust so they don't melt and stuff like that. So I guess the only thing to do is to install them, really. I got the bags kind of sort of mounted. So far the opening of the bags is really quite nice. They're way bigger than my previous set. I brought my previous set here and I'm going to try to load everything in and we'll see how it all fits. Alright, a whole bunch of random parts.
There she is.
Yeah.
Match fit.
Alright, so we've moved the bike out. We've got it all loaded up. Basically, we need to set up the rear suspension to compensate for the extra weight on the bike. So if you look at the side, it doesn't look too bad, but it's definitely still squatting. The back is kind of squatting more than the front is. What we're going to do is we're going to set it's called the sag of the bike. So how much the bike sags when I and all the bags are on it. And we want to have the sag to be about 30%. So it's really actually super nerdy stuff, but it's really important to get the bike to handle properly. So the first thing we need to do is just measure the distance with the bike not sagging at all to the ground, and then I'll get on and we'll measure the distance after, and then we'll use that to calculate the sag. So we'll do it from above the rear axle.
So think there, and measure to what point?
You could use the case.
Oh, right, okay.
Easier. So lift. Okay.
81.
81?
Yep. Pretty much on the nose.
All right, so I kind of figured out a clear way to explain this. So basically right now, when the bike has no weight on it and there's zero sag, the distance from here to here is 810 millimeters. Now, when I'm on the bike and the bags are on the bike, we want that distance to be 740 millimeters. So that essentially equates to 30% sag when you calculate it against the travel of the rear wheel. And technically I should be wearing all my gear, but I can't be arsed. What I'll do, I'll just sit on it.
Okay.
I'll just give it a wiggle.
Okay, go for it. Do you think?
Yeah. Or maybe I'll stand too.
Okay, that takes us to 690.
690.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now that I've sat on the bike, it's sagged down to 690. So basically, we need to tighten up that spring so it raises up the back of the bike and adjusts it to 740, which is a difference of 50 millimeters. So if you remember when we installed the shock, there's these two collars on there. Well, basically we're gonna tighten those collars so it squeezes the spring down, and thus the spring is gonna push the back of the bike up higher. Now let's take another measure.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're measuring now. 74 on the nose.
Oh, 74 exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we've got the sag set on the bike, and I'm gonna take it for a little test drive. Let's see if I can kick my leg over. It's easier with these pants. All right, see you in a bit. All right. Well, the bike's definitely stiffer already. I can feel it. Yeah, and the bike's actually a fair bit lighter. Oh, I have too much pressure in my tires, I think. You can feel that pretty much right away when the tire pressure is too high. So I'll just fix that quick. Okay, so oh yeah, there's like 50 in that one, so it should be more like 20. 20, good. And then the back one, 25. Let's do it with the strap so it doesn't go in the wheel. Ask me how I know. Yeah, new front tire it feels always a bit more vague because the knobs are so much longer than it was before. So on pavement it always feels a bit vague. Okay, here's some dirt. Oh yeah, I can already feel the bike's more balanced, better right now. Yeah, this is definitely an improvement. Isn't Spain great? You can just like 5 minutes away. You're always 5 minutes away from gravel. The bags are good with my legs as well. Alright, back to pavement. Gotta find some gas, I think. And gas here. But actually, one thing I haven't mentioned yet is I got some new pants. I don't know if you can see that. And it's all mesh here. Basically, because where I'm going is going to be so warm, I really need some pants that you know, have a lot of airflow. They're going to be cool. And I have to say, already they are such a big improvement over the last pair. And you know, the reason I'm wearing like all these light colors, I know motorcyclists, they just want to wear black because it looks cooler, but the light colors are just so much better in hot weather, in the sun. And yeah, man, I can already feel I can feel the airflow through my loins right now. It's just great. I've never had that before. But yeah, the bike feels more up, like it's standing up higher in the travel now. It's quite a bit better. I think I definitely made a good choice with changing the springs and the suspension. So, and I'm playing music right now. I want to see if my little computer can skip a track here. Oh yeah, just paused it. Next track. Oh man, it's so much better. Before I had no control over that. I could only kind of control the volume through my pants. But now I can just turn up the volume, turn down the volume. Because often you'll come up to someone and all of a sudden you have to talk and you have music playing in the background and you can't hear anything. But now I can just pause it. It's going to be so much better. And then back to Chez J. Alright, back in the container. Yeah, it's better.
Is it? Oh, that's
Yeah.
good news. That is good news.
Yeah, the suspension's a lot better. After you replace the front tire, it always feels a bit more vague because the knobs are so long again compared to what it was before.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think we did a good job. We made some improvements for sure.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I say it's a success
I think so. It certainly sounds like we've got a bit of a result all round.
in large part thanks to you.
Well, I feel I've
accepting-
been absolutely vital, of course.
Yes,
I'm not
Definitely.
so sure about that. I'm not
no,
so sure.
definitely
about that.
because you accepted all that mail, and it would have been such a pain if I had to scatter mail everywhere.
Happy to be able to help.
Yeah, I very much appreciate that.
Well-
I believe in some parts they call people like you legends,
Oh,
which I
you
think is
might think that I couldn't possibly.
and yeah. So yeah, thanks so much for your help and
You're welcome, and it's
filming and just accommodating my pain in the butt. Okay, here's the maybe the biggest surprise.
Oh.
He bought me Dutch treats.
Oh yes, well
Yeah,
I realised we had a Dutch supermarket near here, so
Yeah.
I better pick you up a couple of bits.
So yeah, got me some like flocken, which are like chocolate flakes that you put on a sandwich, and then like I had in the video before, this like licorice powder is so good, I love it, and it was really, really, really thoughtful of you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
So
You're
yeah,
welcome.
thank you so much.
Not at all.
But yeah, I guess we'll end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see how I got to this point in my journey in the south of Spain from my starting point in Vancouver, Canada, well, there's a whole set of playlists down below that you could probably watch if you wanted to, and you'd see my journey every step of the way. And anyways, yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video, I hope.
Bye bye.
Bye.